Space Pig, Peppa on Mars. One day, in the cozy pig family home, a joyful shout rang out. Daddy Pig held an envelope in his trotters. "We won!" he exclaimed. "A trip to space!" Peppa and George squealed with delight. Preparations were in full swing. Mummy Pig packed spacesuits, while Peppa and George chose their favorite toys to take with them into space. "Don't forget your toothbrushes," Mummy Pig reminded them. Finally, launch day arrived. The pig family sat in a huge rocket. 3, 2, 1. "Blast off!" a voice boomed. The rocket shook and they soared into the sky. George hugged his dinosaur tightly. Space was dark and full of twinkling stars. "Look," Peppa exclaimed, pointing at Earth, which looked like a tiny blue marble. But suddenly, red lights flashed on the control panel. "It seems we're a little off course," Daddy Pig mumbled. The rocket began to shake violently. Then there was a dull thud. They had landed, but when they looked out the window, instead of the moon, they saw a red, dusty surface. "That's not the moon," Daddy Pig said. "That's Mars." Carefully, in their spacesuits, the pig family stepped outside. Mars was amazing. Red rocks, an orange sky, and a silence broken only by their breathing. "Wow," Peppa whispered. Suddenly, a strange figure appeared from behind a red hill. It looked like a pig, but with big ears and shiny eyes. Then another appeared, and another. They were Martian pigs. The Martian pigs, led by the friendly Nova, came closer. They didn't speak, but their smiles were clear. Nova held out a strange, glowing stone to Daddy Pig. It was a gift. The Martian pigs showed the pig family their home, caves full of glowing crystals and strange plants. They even taught them how to play Martian games. "We're real Martian pigs now," Peppa exclaimed happily. The pig family spent many happy days on Mars, learning new things and sharing their stories. They were the first pigs on Mars, and now they were a part of it. It was the most amazing adventure of their lives. Battle for the Bathtub, Bubble Apocalypse. It was bath time in the pig household. Peppa and George loved their evening splash. "Bubbles, bubbles," squealed George, holding his favorite dinosaur. Daddy Pig was in charge of bath duty. "Not too much bubble bath, George," he chuckled, pouring a tiny bit into the warm water. Peppa giggled as she stepped in. But George, eager for more bubbles, grabbed the bottle. Glug, glug, glug. He poured and poured until the bottle was empty. "More bubbles!" he cheered, splashing his hands. The bubbles grew and grew. They rose higher than the tap, higher than the bath's edge, until the whole bathroom was filled with a mountain of shimmering white foam. The bathtub had become a bubbly ocean. Peppa and George stared in amazement. But then, something strange happened. Their bath toys, usually so friendly, began to stir. A plastic duck, Captain Quack, looked particularly cross. "Arg, invaders," squawked Captain Quack, his plastic beak opening and closing. "These bubbles have taken over our watery home. To arms, brave toys. We must reclaim the bathtub sea." Peppa tried to explain, but Captain Quack, "It was just George playing. It's still our bath." But the toys didn't listen. A tiny toy boat charged forward, its flag flapping. George, clutching his dinosaur, tried to help by blowing the bubbles away. But the more he blew, the more they seemed to multiply. The bubbly ocean was too strong. Just then, Mummy Pig walked in. Her eyes widened at the sight of the bubble-filled bathroom and the revolting toys. "Oh dear," she said, but then a clever idea sparked in her mind. Mummy Pig grabbed the biggest, fluffiest towel she could find. "Time for the great bubble absorption," she declared, and began to gently sweep the bubbles away. Slowly but surely, the bubble ocean began to shrink. Captain Quack and the other toys looked around, confused, as their sea disappeared. The bathtub was returning to normal. Soon, the bubbles were gone, and the bath was calm again. Peppa and George finished their splash, giggling about the bubble apocalypse, and the toys, back to being just toys, floated peacefully until next bath time.